Hey YouTube, so the flatbed headache rack slideshow that I had told you guys about in the last video, um, basically putting it together now and trying to, show you all the processes of chopping the corners on this flatbed and building the headache rack. The flatbed that came on this truck was an 8x8, basically just square, plain flatbed. The previous owner had, built it for what he was doing with the truck and had a, gigantic toolbox on it, welder, and everything, and had a ladder rack and stuff over the top of the whole cab and stuff. So, anyways, the trying to redesign the bed to flow with, more of what the truck looked like. So I started with chopping the bumpers off, chopping the cab corners, trying to soften the just square, plain look that the cab or that the flatbed had, and then started designing the headache rack to flow with those same corners that I had chopped, and proceeded to, once I got an idea of what I was doing, proceeded to make all of the parts and pieces to match on both sides, keeping the flow, going. Wanted to create a kind of a catch style headache rack that if the load that was strapped on ever broke free and came forward, slammed on the brakes or whatever, and it broke free, that it would catch the load versus letting it go off past the cab or slam into the cab. The panels here were just basically fill-in panels, and then move to the passenger side, chop the corner, copied everything I had done on the driver's side, making it match and flow the same. The biggest thing that was, trying to do was just soften all the corners and not make it look so industrial. Flatbeds always have that industrial look to them, so it's, not much you can do about that, but just trying to make it flow with the truck, flow with the way that the design of it, and then also modernize it a bit, versus just strictly commercial looking. Added the diamond plate as a, visual and something to add a little sparkle to it. Picked up 3x3 square tube to connect the uprights, and then as I was looking at the cab, I just didn't like the way that the headache rack was flowing with it, so I cut these angle pieces to match in with the flow of the headache rack and also mimic the cab. And all the pieces that I cut basically were just trying to mimic the shape of the cab, so that as you looked at it from the front or any different angle, you kind of saw how it was mimicking flowing around the cab. I then moved to the back and chopped the corners and made them match what I'd done to the front, and then proceeded to plan for the rear bumper to flow around the same corners and stuff.